The story takes place on a weekend. Steve wants to give his girlfriend, Jenny, a special date, so he drives to a remote place called Eden Lake. Little does he know, a nightmare is about to begin. Soon, they arrive at the picturesque lakeside. They happily admire the beautiful scenery, and they enjoy their time together in peace. But just then, a few boys suddenly show up, breaking the tranquility. Later, Jenny lies on the beach, soaking up the sun. Suddenly, a vicious dog rushes toward her. It barks at her wildly. It even splashes drool all over her. Steve gets very angry about this. He warns the boys to control their dog, but to his surprise, a hot-tempered girl in the group mocks Steve right to his face. Hearing the kids' taunts, Steve swallows his anger. After all, they're just a group of kids, but he doesn't realize that his tolerance only fuels their audacity. At that moment, one boy named Brett picks up a pair of binoculars. He shamelessly stares at Jenny, and as they leave, he still doesn't forget to throw rude remarks at her. The next morning, Jenny wakes up and notices something strange. Their food is already crawling with ants. To fix the situation, they have to drive into town to buy more supplies. But to their dismay, a broken glass bottle slashes their car tire. It's obvious that the boys from yesterday did this as revenge. They have no choice but to change the tire and head to town again. When they arrive in town, they run into the boys once more. This time, the boys provoke them again. Steve, finally fed up, wants to teach them a lesson, but Jenny steps in just in time to stop him. Steve swallows his anger once again. After breakfast, as they get ready to head back, Steve spots the boys' bicycles. He immediately pulls over. He decides to deal with the situation as an adult. After a quick check, he realizes no one is in the house, but just as he's about to leave, the homeowner storms back, yelling, to avoid being mistaken for a thief. Steve carefully sneaks upstairs. When the homeowner rushes up, Steve has no choice but to climb out the window. He narrowly escapes by jumping over the wall. Relieved, he finally catches his breath.
Let's go.
The couple returns to the lake again. They shake off the unpleasant incident, and they go back to enjoying their vacation. When Steve comes out of the water, he plans to surprise Jenny, but Jenny suddenly notices that their backpack is missing. Their phone and car keys were inside. Steve immediately senses danger. He rushes toward the car, but it's too late. The car is gone. They have no choice but to follow the tire tracks. Just when they're about to give up, the car suddenly comes charging straight at them. It's the boys again. It's clear they want to hurt them. That night, the couple finally tracks down the boys' hideout. Steve tries to stay calm and asks them to return their belongings, but Brett isn't afraid at all. Instead, he mocks Steve even more. The two quickly get into a fight. One of Brett's friends pulls out a knife. In the scuffle, the dog rushes in to help, but it accidentally gets stabbed. Losing his beloved dog drives Brett into a rage. Jenny grabs the car key and drags Steve away. Brett chases after them, but the car doesn't get far before it gets stuck in the pit. With limited visibility, the car crashes into a tree. Worse still, Steve gets trapped by the tree trunk. Despite the pain, he urges Jenny to run for help, but she hasn't gone far when Brett and his gang catch up. Luckily, Jenny hides just in time and avoids being seen. Meanwhile, Brett discovers Steve. When Jenny returns to the car, Steve is already gone. She notices blood on the ground. Panicking, she follows the trail. She finally finds Steve, beaten and tortured. Steve begs them to let him go, but Brett shows no mercy. He even tries to kill him. Fortunately, one of his companions stops him. Steve narrowly escapes death. Under Brett's coercion, he forced everyone to stab Steve one by one, and ordered his friends to record it on video, because only by doing this could he drag everyone down with him. These were not just ordinary teenagers. They were like demons in human form. Hiding in the dark, Jenny quickly tried to call for help, but Steve's phone was still connected to Bluetooth, and it exposed Jenny's location. She had no choice but to run desperately into the depths of the forest. Meanwhile, Steve managed to break free from his restraints, but the torn clothes caught on the branches left a trail, leading Brett straight toward a nearby cabin. At that moment, Jenny was trying to reach a walkie-talkie, but it slipped from her grasp and fell. Before long, Jenny found Steve. They hid inside a small house, hoping to stay out of sight. Steve was badly wounded, and his body could barely hold on. Soon after, Brett and his gang arrived. When they rushed inside, they didn't see the two of them. After the group finally left, Jenny used grass to cover Steve's body, encouraging him to hang on and stay alive. Then she went out again, determined to find a chance for rescue. Her cries for help accidentally alerted Brett. Before she could catch her breath, a young boy suddenly appeared in front of her. Jenny thought she had finally found someone who could lead her to safety, but Cooper suddenly tossed aside his bicycle and casually started playing on his phone, completely unaware that he had fallen into Brett's trap. Before Jenny could react, she was knocked out cold with a single punch. When she woke up again, she found herself tied up next to Steve, whose life was already slipping away. The group planned to get rid of both of them completely. Under Brett's pressure, Cooper lit a match, and the flames quickly engulfed Steve. Jenny was powerless in that moment, watching helplessly as the fire consumed him. But then, the rope around her wrists burned through and snapped. Jenny broke free and fled. Brett, furious, grabbed Cooper and threatened him, saying that if he didn't bring her back, he would pay a terrible price. Jenny saw Cooper trapped in the fire, but she didn't stop. She ran for her life with every ounce of strength she had left. Not long after, Jenny came across a map. Before she could take a closer look, she heard Brett's voice approaching. She quickly jumped into a foul-smelling garbage bin to hide. After Brett took the map and left, she quietly climbed out and escaped again. Jenny ripped off a piece of her clothing, wrapped it around a shard of broken glass, preparing herself to defend against her pursuers. Seeing his friends die one by one of the boys finally broke down, deciding to leave the group. But Brett, the ruthless leader, wouldn't let him go so easily. Realizing Brett had completely lost control, Jenny turned and fled without looking back. Meanwhile, Jenny finally found her way out of the woods. She ran toward the road with all her strength. Fortunately, a passing car stopped when the driver saw her. Jenny rushed to the driver, begging for help. She explained her ordeal as best as she could, but when they reached the driver's home, she was shocked to discover that his younger brother was none other than Brett. Realizing the danger, Jenny quickly started the car and tried to get away. By now, her heart was burning with a fierce will to survive, mixed with the fire of revenge. For the first time, she felt a sense of release inside her. Wounded and exhausted, Jenny finally managed to escape her tormentors. She arrived at a house nearby, where people were enjoying a party. Using her last bit of strength, she pleaded with them for help, then collapsed to the ground. Thanks to the kindness of strangers, Jenny slowly began to let down her guard, but then she heard a dog barking. Looking around, she noticed a photo on the wall. It was Brett, and the dog bowl in the corner bore the name of Brett's beloved pet. Panic surged through Jenny. She pretended she needed to use the bathroom and locked herself inside to hide. She had thought she'd finally found safety, but instead, it was another trap. The pounding on the door grew louder and louder, sending waves of fear through her. No matter how Jenny tried to explain, no one believed her. Brett twisted the whole story, blaming everything that had happened on Jenny. Soon, she was grabbed by the throat and dragged out of the bathroom. The nightmare had not ended. Back in the room, Brett showed no sign of regret for what he had done. Instead, he pulled out Steve's phone and deleted all evidence that could link him and Jenny. In the end, everything was Brett's carefully constructed lie. He shifted all the blame for his own crimes onto Jenny,